Standard rough-in for the toilet here. It's a 7-inch flange by 3-inch. There's notches here at 12 o'clock, 3, 6, and 9. You'll want to measure from the wall on those notches. About 12 1/4. I have 12 3/8, and you want to make it equal. The brass nuts slide in the flanges here, and then this plastic washer is pushed onto the threads, holds your bolts stable as you put on the toilet. Over. Rough-in is about 1 foot. It can be as close as about 9 inches, but that might be pushing it a little bit. And again, just measure on both sides of the wall. And then there's 6 screws that are into the floor. If you're drilling into the concrete, then that's going to be different. You flip the flange upside down, outline the circle, and then I just cut it with a jigsaw, the subfloor. Install your wax ring on the bottom side of the toilet. You can install the tank as well onto the toilet and put the full assembly on. It is a little bit lighter if you just do the lower part of the toilet first. So you're going to be lifting the toilet. Oh, the wax ring came off. You're going to be lifting the toilet straight down onto the flange, and then you'll be kind of sitting on the toilet to seat the wax flange. So I'm going to lift straight up, and I'm kind of eyeing up the bolts. So you can see bolts are in there on both sides. Then I kind of sat on the toilet a little bit and rocked it back and forth. Stretch the rubber gasket so it's sitting right up against the tank. It looks like that. And then these bolts here should be 1/2 inch. And then you want to tighten until like you feel snug. And then just give it like 1/8 of a turn to maybe 1/4 of a turn. And then there's one on the other side. So it's a washer, a nut, and then on the inside it's going to be the bolt with a flathead, stainless steel washer, and then a rubber gasket. The nuts I tightened, there's like a clearance lip here, so it should clear. But then they made the holes extra big, so those bolts should just drop down in there. Again, you're going to be dropping the tank straight down on with lining up the bolts. It is going to rock a bit. And then it's going to be a wing nut and like a square rectangle washer. Then you tighten the tank down. So you just kind of finger tighten those wing nuts at the bottom there. And there's a reason they're wing nuts, is that they're only supposed to be hand tight. And then basically the tank then will seat against that lip there. And then it should not rock back and forth. Then if you did everything properly, your gap should be even from the back of the wall on each side of the tank. And it looks like I'm out maybe a 1/16 of an inch. But this is where most people break their toilet on installation, is installing the top tank to the base. And it usually cracks this top tank. So just take your time and evenly tighten. Again, they make it pretty easy. Everything's pre-assembled in the box. So basically, you're going to take off this nut, and it's a left-handed nut. And then the rubber gasket. This square lines up with the square hole on the front of the tank. So you're going to slide the rod in to the square hole. Then the rubber washer goes on. And then plastic nut, again, just finger tight. It's a left-hand thread. Alright, then you grab your chain, and then you want to make sure that you're not lifting up on the flapper. Kind of snaps in place. I usually put it midway. There should be a little bit of slack in the chain, and then when you fully pull up, it shouldn't hit the top of the lid. Install your lid. Again, this will be the washer that goes on first. There's a little divot. Make sure that the larger part is facing up. Then there'll be a stainless steel washer, and then your brass nut. Again, make sure you don't crank on these. This will be a 7/16 wrench, and what you're doing is you're slowly try to center up that plastic washer, and that's for the caps to click in. If these brass bolts are too long, you might have to cut off with a hacksaw. So for the toilet seat, washers, they'll just be the bolt down through, washer, and then the nut. You flip these up, drop this down in place. This part here is supposed to stay against the edge of the toilet, so you will need a flathead to tighten these down in. Installation is now complete of the toilet. And then if there's marks and stuff, just give a wipe down. And happy flushing.